I'm so pleased to be able to introduce our important collaboration with Philadelphia Sinfonia and with Dr. Robert Harris, composer and arranger, This Little Light of Mine. On this call today is Dr. Robert Harris, Professor Emeritus from Northwestern University, Danielle Garrett, Conductor of Philadelphia Sinfonia Players, and Gary White, Music Director and Conductor of Philadelphia Sinfonia. Welcome to you all. We began discussing this arranging and singing This Little Light of Mine for orchestra and choir earlier this season during the COVID-19 pandemic. And I, Dr. Harris, have just loved your set of spirituals since you first released them in the late 90s. They're just profoundly beautiful pieces, and they're so important. And so then to realize this as a choral and orchestral collaboration is very meaningful for us at Commonwealth Youthchoirs. I remember Danielle emailing you about some options for our collaboration, and you immediately wrote back about Dr. Harris's piece.
Yeah, one of the most beloved spirituals, and one that, I personally cherish. I was excited to do this collaboration for many reasons. One being that, our orchestra, works with accompanying and working with a choir, which they have not done. So all of the intricate ideas that go into that, dealing with the voices, how do you, appropriately balance, how intonation has to be absolutely perfect. So this piece, this simple spiritual, beautifully done and arranged, I think was just the perfect choice for our groups. So I'm so excited to hear the video.
I'm so happy you liked it.
Yes. And Dr. Harris, why don't you tell us a little bit, just, why you wrote this? What does this piece mean to you?
Well, I really can't recall what the impetus was. I think I wrote two versions of that piece. One for solo voice. No, I think I wrote the two-part first, and then I also made one for solo voice and piano. I just always loved that piece. And I decided that I wanted it. Oh, no, yes, I do remember now. Martha Shaw, who is a conductor of the
the Spivey Hall?
Spivey Hall Children's Choir.
Mm-hmm.
That was a commission from, that's right, that was from Spivey Hall. And she asked me to write a series of spirituals for that group, which is a wonderful, wonderful group of young singers. I've heard them sing on several occasions. They do a wonderful job. And so the spirituals, that set of spirituals, three of those spirituals was written for her. Another one was written for Glen Ellen Children's Choir, and that was the one called Little Boy, How Old Are You? And so I think that was the first one that I had written. And then when Martha asked me to write three others, and it was going to be a fast, slow, fast kind of format, then of course, This Little Light of Mine became the center of that. And it's very interesting that the four spirituals, they all have the name Little in their title. I didn't realize that when I was doing it, but so they could be called four little spirituals if you chose to do so.
Something very powerful with this collaboration, I think, was the communication and the collaboration between you and Gary White and the orchestration. Perhaps Gary, you can tell us about how you thought of or conceived of the orchestration for this.
Well, I was thinking about that earlier today, and I was thinking, what was so wonderful about this collaboration was I've done lots of orchestrations with Sinfonia, but I've never gotten to do it with the actual composer. And so I wanted to do the orchestration, and Maestro Garrett and I worked on the orchestration and came up with different ideas and put it all together. And then we had the good fortune to be able to send it to Dr. Harris, and Dr. Harris was able to look at it and really help us to understand how to make it what he originally wrote for piano and how best to transfer that to the orchestra. So he made several suggestions that were just wonderful. And what I'm hoping is the result is that it's really his arrangement just put in the orchestral setting. And so for me, it was a real thrill. Dr. Harris, how was it for you to hear your piece put into the orchestral setting, or to know it was happening?
It was very exciting, because I think I had mentioned that I had plans of doing it myself at some point, and then all of a sudden Gary appears, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. and the draft that you sent me was really fine, and all we did was fine tune it and make a couple of changes here and there, because I think the concept that you had captivated the piece very beautifully. So it was just a matter of making a few little tweaks, and I'm very pleased with the result that you've done. After I look through the score, I just can't wait to hear it. I really want to hear it so badly. And the other thing that's good about that particular setting is that it can be used now with the SATV version or with the solo version of the piece. So this really it works very nicely. So
I see a continuing future for this orchestration in a variety of forms. Dr. Harris?
I see a continuation of the whole collaboration, really, with all of you. I mean, it's really been a very beautiful thing to have had, and I'm very pleased with having gotten to know you and the work we're doing together.
Yes, I will say one of the most poignant moments of the year for me, Dr. Harris, was when we all were together on a group Zoom with the Sinfonia players and the Commonwealth Youthchoir singers. And you were there, and we were saying thank you and we appreciate you so much. And you said, well, I'm part of you now. We're a team together. And that meant so much to me. And I know it meant so much to our community. So thank you for becoming part of our place here in Philadelphia. And we hope you all enjoy this little light of mine.